Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Easy Things to Draw, and I'm Enrique. Today we're going to go over how to draw an ear, or the ear, right? The human ear. The first thing I want to go over about the ear is from the front of the head to the back of the skull, the ear is roughly about halfway. Roughly about halfway, that's kind of where the ear is. And another thing about the ear is that if you want to line it up in terms of how high it is roughly about the brow line, the top of the eye. That's kind of where the top of the ear tends to reside. And the bottom part tends to be kind of where the bottom of the nose is. And again, this is just, a ballpark estimation of where it is. That should give you the idea of where on the head it's placed when you're looking at it from the side view. Same thing from the front view, that's how high it is. A couple things about the ear is the ear, you can kind of think of it, I kind of drew this over here as well, and I'll kind of go over it again. You can think of the ear as kind of like a potato chip shape. It's like a flat kind of styrofoam bent, to kind of fit whatever custom, kind of shape that your ear has. Some really quick things. When you draw the ear itself from, like, let's say you're drawing it from the side, as it's usually seen, like in movies and cartoons, and kind of one of the few times that you pay attention to the ear. When you think about the parts of the ear, like let's say it has that shape, we like to think of it as a question mark with a Y in it. Like right here, down here, there's the lobe of the ear. The lobe is that hangy part of the ear, and it kind of goes up along the side of the helix, whatever, which is that hard part. And on the inside, it is I forgot the names of these were called, but it the folds in here look like a Y. It looks like a Y, a literal, like the letter Y, jammed inside of a giant question mark. And then over here you have the tragus, which is that little thing that kind of blocks stuff from entering your ear. You kind of connect it along that. But that's a good start, Literally, just think of it as a question mark with a Y jammed into it. There's a tragus. And then I guess it connects in there. But that's a good start, So I would say just thinking about it in that simplified kind of idea, that would really solve a lot of issues. A lot of issues. When you're drawing the ear from the front, it and again, this like tends to vary from person to person. When you're drawing the ear from front, it's obviously flatter. It's not facing that outward thing. It's not like the Mad Magazine. It's not like the Mad Magazine ear. You know what I mean? Where they kind of flap out. This depends on every person, but generally, it's gonna look something like that. It's gonna look kind of like a little sliver. That's where you have to think about it as like that potato chip I told you about. Think about it flat first, and then you add the details that they have. Let me kind of go over this in a in a pen. Where's my pen? So let me kind of go over different parts of it in terms of how to shade it. The ear is an organ, not a feature to the face. But some things about it, the ear is, the ear is a little bit different, right? It doesn't make expression really. It kind of like flares a little bit, you know what I mean? But it's not something that, makes or breaks a type. Like if you're drawing a portrait, that Y inside. If you're drawing a portrait, they're not going to be like, that's not their ear. You know what I mean? Unless they have very, very specific ears or something. They really won't do that. So when I go over here, I go into that inside of the Y here. And what I want to do is show that this is casting a shadow. It's kind of like a little, like a hood, you know? Because it's folding. That side of the helix is kind of folding over. That's going to cause a cast shadow on the inside of the ear, and it's going to change shape based on the forms inside. And that form inside, like I said, looks like a simplified Y. Right here, the tragus. Going to this side of the ear. I forget what this is exactly called. It's kind of that part of the Y I told you about. I'm throwing a little bit of halftone over here because I don't think this is fully in value. This right here, the lobe, the hanging, dangling part, and you can see people can stretch those out as much as they want because it's just essentially loose skin. They're going to have some value over here. A little more value on the inside of this, inside of that. The ear was always kind of one of those things that I think a lot of people tend to neglect a lot because it's just not as pretty or as cool, and you're not looking right at it. You know what I mean? So people tend to be bad at drawing ears. Like, they tend to be good at drawing ears last. You know, they master the eye and they master the nose and the mouth and just kind of things about the face. But in portrait drawing, I've seen people just kind of like treat the ear like an afterthought. You know what I mean? And when you do that, that's not good. When you treat it like an afterthought, you'll draw it and you'll be like, huh, that looks really bad. You know what I mean? And it'll be kind of inconsistent too, because you'll be like, wow, you'll be a really good artist, and you'll be like, why am I drawing this? There's no way I could draw ears that bad. There's just no way, you know? It's almost like, because you've already built up that rep as a good artist, and you're just like, what? You know, why do I should have taken care of this a long time ago. It's definitely one of those things in the shopping list that you have to remind yourself to do. Because like I said, it's just not as cool of a feature as the other ones. I kind of show it connect to the face over here with some value. I kind of cut that off there. It's just like a lone ear. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I would actually just kind of go over, do what I do with the other features. As an exercise, you should grab as many, like I said, real life reference of ears. See how they, just draw from them and just try to learn from them. And then pretty soon you put that in your visual library and you'll know how to draw stuff pretty much. Like you'll know how to draw ears, I mean, like from your head. And it won't be such a big deal, honestly. I guess you just go back to it every now and then to kind of practice. Anyways, that's a general ear right there, as you can see. What you can do also is you can kind of throw a little bit of light value, like I said, halftone. You don't have to do this, but you want like it to have kind of a look like the whole thing's in value except for kind of the top part. Yeah, I'd kind of throw that little hot spot up there. With everything you shade, you know what I mean, in any way, or just put a little bit of value over, it's a good idea to have like a little warm, like have like a spot where it's focused, you know, where there's really no value. There's no like halftone anywhere. But like I said, I'm going to go over that in the shading video. That'll be another video. And that's the ear. If you have any questions about the ear, please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to put these, I'm going to take the questions and I'm going to use them on the how to draw a face video. So let me know. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you soon.